Welcome to our program. I'm Joe Condon, and today's topic is about the Veterans Administration. And as you know, all throughout New York State, we have veterans going back to World War II, through the Korean War, through the Vietnam War, through Afghanistan, Iraq, and Libya. And they need to be served because we have to give back to those who have done so much for us. And with us today is a representative of the Veterans Administration, a dear friend, Mr. Peter Potter. Oh. And Peter is with the Veterans Administration Hospital in Albany, New York. And it is so nice to have you with us.
Oh, it's great to be here, John.
Now, you, in different encounters we've had over the years, are very, very concerned about the future of our veterans coming home and the veterans that have been back home for a while. And could you tell us basically the role of the Veterans Administration in the United States of America?
Well, the VA is here to help all our veterans. The biggest thing is to get the word out to them. But we have health care, we have benefits, we have educational assistance, we have housing assistance, we have a homeless program that helps veterans, not only who are homeless, but are at risk of being homeless. We're basically a one-stop shop, and it's where veterans can get everything from A to Z. And one of our biggest concerns is getting the word out, because veterans, when they come home, they're interested in getting back to their lives. So it's getting the word out to them, for them to come into the VA and get the services that are due them for their honorable service.
What veterans hospital in the United States of America appears to be the busiest right now with our vets coming home from Afghanistan and Iraq?
Well, if you look at it nationwide, the southern regions, Florida, Texas, they're very, very busy. It's a big growing economy that's growing with numbers of people, certainly nice weather, except for the heat of the summer. But you know, the tax structure is low down there. It's they've got a lot of bases down there, so they tend to have a lot. But New York has a lot of bases itself. You know, we have several across the state. So we have veterans all over the country, and there's services that are available everywhere in this country. What
do you feel is the most important service that the Veterans Administration offers that our women and men coming home from the armed forces, whether they were in combat or not, are not aware of?
You know, truthfully, it's the health care that's available to them. Certainly the benefits are helpful and the programs are helpful, but it's the health care. We are the premier health care in the country. We've been noted as the best care anywhere. An author, Philip Longman, had written a book, Best Care Anywhere, and it denotes where VA has come from, building its services, and we really do stand by what we've created. We're very reactive to the needs of the veterans. When we find that there's a need, we make sure that we meet it, and we really do lead. When you look at the patient satisfaction out there, we tend to lead private hospitals. We do very well, and we lead in things like the discoveries of prosthetics, of the stent for the heart, for so many things that we've done. We've got gene banking that we have got going on right now. We're doing a lot of HIV testing that's almost been forgotten in the public right now. So VA is always interested in keeping our veterans healthy, and that's one of the most important things. We want them to be involved with their health care. We want them to come in. We want them to enroll, and it's important that they know that our services are there.
One thing, I did a recent event with you guys, and I was very surprised. I would have assumed it would have been the Iraq veterans or the Afghanistan veterans, but I was very surprised to learn from your CEO that the vets that seem to be having the most problems now are those from the Vietnam War. And what she was telling me is that the vets that came home from Vietnam went to school, they began their careers, or they started their families, and now that they're retiring and their kids have grown up, they don't have, you know, the job or the families to worry about, and all of a sudden they never had time to think about what they went through in Vietnam, and now they are, and it's causing depression. Can you talk about that a little?
Well, and it's more than that too, because it's our Vietnam era veterans. You know, they had their issues, they had their problems, the draft and how they were put in. So not only were they forced to come back and get back into life, but there was that little bit of an aggravation with government, if you will. And I talked to a lot of Vietnam veterans, and when you talk to them, they don't have necessarily an inkling about the VA. They have a general thought about government, and sometimes that keeps them away. But yeah, now that they're coming down and winding down to the end of their productive years, where they can be home and really be with a family and retire, you know, they're not knowing about the health care that's there for them and the services. So it's very important for us to be able to outreach to them, and they're the largest growing number of veterans that are out there right now.